For centuries, the tale of Atlantis has captivated the imaginations of explorers, scholars, and storytellers. It's a legend of a magnificent civilization lost beneath the waves, a tale of a utopia consumed by its own ambition. But was Atlantis a real place, or merely a story to warn us of the dangers of pride? Join me as we journey into the depths of this ancient myth. The story of Atlantis begins with the philosopher Plato, who wrote of it over 2,000 years ago. He described a flourishing island civilization that existed some 9,000 years before his time, beyond the Pillars of Hercules. Atlantis was said to be a land of unmatched wealth, advanced technology, and powerful kings. But its origins, like all great legends, were shrouded in mystery. According to Plato's tale, Atlantis was blessed by the gods. Poseidon, the god of the sea, had fallen in love with a mortal woman named Cleito, and together they founded the city. Poseidon shaped the island with rings of water and land to protect her, and upon a central hill, he built a magnificent palace. Cleito bore him 10 sons, and each became a king, ruling over a different part of the island. The kings of Atlantis were gifted with great power, and the island itself was rich beyond imagination. Its fields were fertile, its rivers flowed with fresh water, and its mountains yielded precious metals. Atlantean ships traveled far and wide, trading goods and knowledge, and bringing back treasures from distant lands. The city's architects and engineers were masters of their craft, building vast aqueducts, temples, and harbors. Atlantis seemed destined for greatness. It became the envy of the ancient world, its wealth and power unmatched. But with prosperity came pride, and with pride came corruption. The Atlanteans, once just and noble, grew increasingly ambitious. They sought to expand their empire, conquering other lands with little regard for the suffering of others. Their military conquests stretched across vast territories, from Europe to Africa. The kings of Atlantis, intoxicated by their power, believed they were invincible. But the gods were watching, and the Atlanteans' hubris did not go unnoticed. Poseidon, who had once blessed them, now looked upon his descendants with disdain. It is said that Zeus, the king of the gods, called a council. He spoke of the Atlanteans' arrogance and cruelty, their defiance of the natural order. He decided it was time to humble the once great civilization and remind them of their mortality. The judgment would be swift, and the punishment would be severe. In a single day and night of misfortune, the judgment of the gods came upon Atlantis. The earth shook with violent tremors, and the ocean roared with a fury never before seen. Mountains crumbled, rivers overflowed, and the very ground beneath the Atlanteans' feet began to give way. The waves grew higher and higher, crashing over the city's walls and swallowing everything in their path. The once majestic palaces and temples were shattered, the ships that had once carried the Atlanteans across the world were pulled down to the depths, and the island itself began to sink. In a matter of hours, Atlantis was no more, vanished beneath the sea, leaving no trace behind. The story of Atlantis ends in mystery. Some believe it is merely a parable told by Plato to illustrate the dangers of hubris, a warning against the excesses of power and pride. Others speculate that Atlantis was a real place, lost to history, perhaps a forgotten island or an ancient city buried beneath the sands of time. Scholars, explorers, and adventurers have searched for it, each hoping to uncover the truth. Or perhaps a treasure. But despite the countless theories and claims, Atlantis remains elusive, a legend caught between history and myth. Whether it was a tale invented to teach a lesson or a real civilization that met a tragic end, the story of Atlantis continues to captivate the human spirit. It reminds us that even the greatest empires can fall, and that nature's power is as boundless as our own ambitions. And so, the legend of Atlantis lives on, a reminder of what once was, and what might have been. Somewhere out there, beneath the waves, may lie the ruins of a forgotten world, waiting for those brave enough to seek it. But until then, Atlantis will remain a story, a timeless echo from the depths of history. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Do you want to stay up to date with more interesting stories? Subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Let us know in the comments, do you think Atlantis was real, or just a myth?